Welcome everyone to the Township Council Workshop meeting Tuesday, February the 14th, 2022. This meeting is now called to order. After the flag salute, would you please remain standing in a moment of silence for John Herman, who's a former fire member of this Little Falls Township, James Pallara, and Deb Schieber, who is the brother of the former mayor, Sam Schieber. All rise. Councilwoman Schieber, please say the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Ms. DePiero, please read the statement of public notice.
Take notice that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the NJSA 10:4-8 and NJSA 10:4-10 as follows. A notice of the meeting was promptly posted on the bulletin board at the municipal building located at 225 Main Street, Little Falls, New Jersey on January 14, 2022. A copy of the notice has been mailed to the North Jersey Herald News and the Record on the same date. Additionally, a copy of the notice was filed in the office of the township clerk and on said date. This meeting is being conducted under circumstances surrounding COVID-19 health situation. Only 25 members of the public will be allowed to attend the meeting in person. A link and a telephone number to join the meeting virtually can be accessed on the township website, www.lfnj.com. Electronic provisions have been established for the public to participate during the public comment portion of this meeting.
Thank you. At this time, please call the roll.
Councilmember Hablitz,
Present.
Councilmember Kawadi,
Present.
Councilmember Seaver,
Present.
Councilmember Vanchery,
Present.
Council President Scoba.
President, Mayor Damiano, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Council President. There are two proclamations this evening, which I would like to read into the record. The first being proclamation recognizing Black History Month, and the second being Radon Awareness Month proclamation. And it reads, whereas the Township of Little Falls takes pride in recognizing February 2022 as Black History Month, celebrating the many notable contributions that people of African descent have made to our country. And whereas in 1986, Congress passed Public Law 19244, designating February as National Black History Month to bring awareness to Black history. And whereas we celebrate the diversity of Black people, whether they self-identify as African, African American, or Black. And whereas we recognize this year's theme of Black health and wellness to recognize and celebrate the contributions and breakthrough from Black professionals. And whereas each Black family has a unique and interesting story, which although we may not be able to fully understand, we can listen and show that we care, treating each other with respect and empathy. And whereas we encourage all people to recognize these issues by standing in the gap at every opportunity and bridge barriers with fearlessness and determination to improve lack of representation of Black people. Whereas today we celebrate and affirm the contributions of all Black people to our community, throughout our state and the nation. Now therefore be it resolved, the Township of Little Falls does hereby proclaim February 1st through February 28th, 2022 as Black History Month, and calls upon the people of Little Falls to continue our efforts to create a world that is more just, equitable, and prosperous for all. The second proclamation is a proclamation recognizing Radon Awareness Month, and it reads, whereas radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that is the second leading cause of lung cancer. And whereas prolonged exposure to radon can kill as many as 500 people in New Jersey each year. And whereas families who reside in homes with elevated radon levels are at risk of developing serious health problems. And whereas any home could have high levels even when neighboring homes do not. And whereas radon testing can be done with great ease at a relatively low expense to the homeowner, with the cost of reducing radon concentrations being comparable to a home repair. And whereas the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection and the United States Environmental Protection Agency are collaborating during the month of January to promote the need for radon testing in an effort to protect the lives of our state's residents. Now, therefore, I, James Belford Damiano, Mayor of the Township of Little Falls, on behalf of the Little Falls Township Council, do hereby proclaim the month of February 2022 as Radon Action Month. That is all that I have, Council President, with respect to proclamations, as well as this evening appointing Robert Prohl as OEM Coordinator for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2024, with advice and consent of council. As this council is aware, we had a former OEM Coordinator in Sergeant Dan Gianduso, who retired last year from the Township of Little Falls and no longer serving in that role at this time. There is a vacancy as for the OEM Coordinator. And initially, in the beginning of this year, until I could have conversations with individuals to fill this role as OEM Coordinator, I was acting as OEM Coordinator for the past month and a half. I am absolutely thrilled to be passing this baton to Lieutenant Robert Prohl, who has accepted the position of OEM Coordinator in Little Falls for a 3-year term.
Thank you, Mayor. Are there any questions or comments before I ask for a motion concerning Robert Pearl as the OEM Coordinator to the Mayor? Seeing there are none, can I have a motion to approve Robert Pearl as OEM Coordinator?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Kwadi,
Second.
second by Councilmember Havelitz. Ms. DePiero, please call the roll.
Councilmember Havelitz?
Yes.
Councilmember Kwadi?
Yes.
Councilmember Seaver?
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Have a motion to open the meeting to the public for general matters
So moved.
and agenda items. Moved by Councilmember Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilmember Kwadi. All those in favor of this motion signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, this motion signify by saying nay. The motion carries. Ms. DePiero, please read the statement.
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. Please give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the member of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves, *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via Zoom application must click the reaction icon and then the raise hand icon. Please give your name and address for the record. Once the process is completed, we will return to the regular order of business.
Thank you. The floor is now open. Is there anyone?
No one has their hands up.
Seeing no one with their hands up or seeing no one else coming forth, the governing body here in our presence, have a motion to close the public comment?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Seaver, second by Councilmember Havelitz. All those in favor of closing the public comment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, this motion signify by saying nay. This motion now carries. Mayor, item 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Sure thing, Council President. Item number 1 is a resolution authorizing municipal alliance program funding. This is an annual resolution that is passed. And municipal alliance program funding is typically received through grant funding through the county and its particular sources through the municipal alliance. In order to be eligible to receive this funding, we need to pass a resolution in order to receive these grants. So that is what resolution number 1 regarding municipal alliance is about. Are there any questions? All right, no questions. Item number 2 is a resolution authorizing a petty cash fund for the Recreation Department. And this petty cash fund in particular is for our seniors here in Little Falls who have regular weekly meetings in the township, and sometimes they need paper towels, or they need napkins, or they need little pickings and things like that. And it's always a long drawn-out process just to get napkins for them to have at their tables. And in an effort to avoid having this long drawn-out process every time to get such little things, I am asking that this council pass a resolution authorizing a petty cash fund in the amount of a whole $250 to be established for these small items that the seniors may need from time to time. Are there any questions on item number 2? All right, no questions. Item number 3 is a resolution awarding a change order for the gymnasium floor project at the Recreation Center. And I am actually, as much as I love to see projects come in on or under budget, which we all know nowadays is almost an impossibility, this project only ever so slightly went over the cost of the $262,000 or $260,000 estimate, and it is now a $262,312 figure, an increase of $3,250. So just slightly over the original estimate there. As everyone may recall, the original floor in the gymnasium was a mercury-based floor. Although it posed no health hazards or dangers in its state because there were not cracks or leaks in the mercury, it was something that required to be disposed of through hazardous materials as if it was a hazardous material, which initially increased the cost. After receiving some estimates recently, the cost was actually cut in about half. And again, with this slight change order, the total cost is now $262,312. Any questions on item 3? All right, hearing none. Item number 4 is ordinance 1430, parking modifications on Harrison Street. It was brought to myself and this council's attention in late 2021 that there were some concerns over parking on Harrison Street, some signage on Harrison Street. And upon review, it did turn out that the ordinance for parking on Harrison Street should be updated. And the current ordinance 1430, it calls for no parking on the east side of Harrison from Madison Avenue south to the dead end, and for no parking on the west side of Harrison Street from Madison Avenue to north to the dead end. And that would address the no parking on Harrison Street concerns that were raised previously. Are there any questions on 1430? All right, hearing none. Ordinance 1431, a fee ordinance amendment for the Recreation Department. As we do from time to time, we increase the costs and fees or add costs and fees for sponsorships and things of the like. The update in ordinance 1431 to our fee ordinance is that men's and women's softball team sponsorships will cost $300 per season per team, and that men's basketball team sponsorships will cost $300 per season per team. That is the modification being made in that ordinance. Are there any questions with respect to any of those?
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I have a motion to approve resolutions A through D.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilmember Havens. This is a roll call for resolutions A through D. Steve Barrow.
Councilmember Hablitz,
Yes.
Councilmember Kawadi,
Yes.
Councilmember Seaver,
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery,
Yes.
Council President Stover.
Yes. At this time, please read ordinance 1430.
Introduction of ordinance number 1430, an ordinance entitled Ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Little Falls in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending the Township Code Chapter 7 entitled Traffic, with a second reading and public hearing scheduled for March 14th, 2022.
Have a motion to introduce 1430.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilmember Seaver. Please call the roll to introduce 1430.
Councilmember Hablitz,
Yes.
Councilmember Kawadi,
Yes.
Councilmember Seaver,
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery,
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes, please read ordinance 1431.
Introduction of ordinance number 1431, an ordinance entitled Ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Little Falls in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending the Township Code Chapter 71 fees, with a second reading and public hearing scheduled for March 14th, 2022.
Have a motion to introduce 1431.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Havelitz,
Second.
second by Councilmember Vanchery. Please call the roll to introduce 1431.
Councilmember Hablitz,
Yes.
Councilmember Kawadi,
Yes.
Councilmember Seaver,
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery,
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes, we'll move on to councilmember reports. Councilmember Vanchery, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Council President. First, everyone, happy Valentine's Day. We're all here on Valentine's Day, which is great. So thank you for that. Just wanted to take a moment to, at the start of the meeting, Council President called for a moment of silence. Just want to express, my thoughts and prayers to the families of Deep Schieber. That is former Little Falls Mayor Sam Schieber's brother who passed away recently, as well as Charles Polera, another lifelong resident. So my condolences to his son Steve and his family. And lastly, John Herman. John spent over 60 years as a member of the Little Falls Fire Department. He is the father of one of our residents, Tammy Herney. So our thoughts go to them as well. So thank you for doing that. Just wanted to provide a few updates if I could. I wanted to say thanks to the Rotary Club, in particular, John Suzanni. He's the district governor of the Rotary District 7490. As recently, the Rotary Club donated to Little Falls, Woodland Park, and Totowa over 4,000 gallons of hand sanitizers, as well as 2,895 masks to distribute among the 3 towns. Just want to say thank you, of course, to Rotary for doing that, and thanks to Mayor Damiano, Mayor Kazmark, and Mayor Cora for making sure this happens so that each of the 3 towns can distribute the donation accordingly among their resident programs within town, departments. Couple other things too, I wanted just to reiterate is I know the notice went out to let residents know about the Memorial Day activities that are coming up in May. We're on track to have the parade on Saturday, May 28th. And what we're in the process of doing right now is coordinating the day. At some point next month, I'm planning to meet with our new OEM lead as well as the police department and some other members to start planning, the route and just ensure, we have everything we need for the parade. And then Councilwoman Havelitz and I are also working behind the scenes for the night before activities, the concert on the park on Friday, May 27th. We've been plugging away. We've got a couple bands that are already signed up. We're working with some vendors, and we're also going to open it up like we did last year, where if any local clubs, organizations, or businesses want to have a table free of charge, of course, we're going to set that up because it's a good way to everyone to come out and see, what's being offered from residents in terms of communities and other things. So it's just a nice way to get everybody back as we start to hopefully this year get back to normal. That's it for me, Council President.
Thank you, Councilmember Vanchery. Councilmember Havelitz?
Thank you, Council President. So also to everyone, happy Valentine's Day. I'd like to congratulate Council President Scoba and the Senior Advisory Board. Today for Valentine's Day, the Senior Advisory Board had a desserts and dancing at the Civic Center. I was able to attend and I got to see our senior residents having just a wonderful time. They were dancing, enjoying their desserts, having conversation. It was nice to see things getting back to normal and for the seniors to have a great time. So well done, Council President and the Senior Advisory Board. Just some updates for the library. There is a new program coming to the library. The library's now digital ebooks, audiobooks, magazines will now be with a new app called Libby. It will be taking over for the Overdrive app as of February 23rd. So if you're one of the residents who enjoys having our ebooks, please download the new app. All you will need is your library card to participate. Also, the library is having the Passaic County Clerk Outreach Services on Thursday, February 24th from 5 to 7 p.m. Residents can fill out their passport services, notary, oath and renewal, and free veteran ID cards. For any more information, you can call the county clerk's office directly. The numbers on the website. And also there is another teen advisory board meeting that will be in the beginning of March. If you have a teenager who is interested in participating with the advisory board to see new and exciting programs come to the library for teenagers, please have them attend. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilmember Havelitz. Councilmember Seaver?
Thank you, Council President. Again, happy Valentine's Day to all. I'm glad to see the resolution for Municipal Alliance program on the agenda for tonight. So glad to be again receiving that grant and that funding for this upcoming year. Hopefully we'll be offering some great programs again to our school-age children. And then just a reminder, we've sent out some invitations for Little Falls Farmers Market. Even though it's super cold outside right now, we're definitely looking forward to spring. And it takes many, many months for us to plan our Little Falls Farmers Market. So again, if anybody's interested, they can go ahead and apply to the market through the Recreation Center. And then also just, we would love to have our residents continue to partake on every Sunday, starting in May. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Quaddi?
Thank you, Council President. A couple weeks ago, I was happy to join the mayor and some of the other council members here on Jackson Street with Congresswoman Cheryl when she announced the funding for the Peckman River culvert. And so I just want to remind everyone that, that project is happening and it's moving along, and the Congresswoman has been a great part in helping us to get that funding and continuing that project. We actually met, they actually held the meeting right in front of a home that she and the mayor and I walked through, where a woman was impacted by the flood on the weekend of her son's wedding. And so I'm sure it had particular significance to her and a lot of the other residents who are from that area. So relief is on the way, we hope. To echo what Councilman Havlet said, congratulations, Council President. The event today was a great success. The seniors had a great time. And I was happy to attend and announce the SOS program that we're starting in town, the Shoveling Out Seniors. So we are looking for volunteers to come forward and agree to be assigned a senior citizen who requests help during a snowstorm to shovel them out. We're encouraging families to do this and people with their own shovels and snow blowers. We can't provide equipment, but we will try to assign people to senior citizens who are close to their homes and so that nobody has to travel in a snowstorm. So if you're a senior citizen, 65 years of older, with homeowners insurance, living in town, you can go to the recreation center, I guess starting the end of this week, and sign up for the program. And if you're willing to help a senior as a volunteer with your own equipment, we ask you as well to go down and just sign some paperwork for us, and we will assign seniors. I know it's late in the year as far as snow goes, but we're hoping that we can start matching people up right away. So we need the volunteers. So if you know anyone who might be interested in volunteering, please have them reach out to Tyler Pissarro at the Recreation Department or just stop in and fill out the paperwork. And lastly, the Domestic Violence Prevention Committee met with Deputy Chief Prawl and Lieutenant Pressing and Officer Imperio. And we had a great meeting. We are gearing up for the warmer weather when we can start joining events and raising awareness on domestic violence prevention. So looking forward to that sort of gearing up again in a hopefully post-COVID and warmer weather environment. Thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you, Councilmember Quaddi. Yes, the event today, the senior advisory dessert and dancing went very well. Many thanks to Helen Lewis, Janet Cohen, and Phyllis Dillon and Nadine for making that event possible. Also to the first grade Mayor Girl Scout Daisy Troop 98180, who spent Saturday making up Valentine's Day cards for each and every senior. There were quite some nice Valentine's Day cards, quite nicely done, in which the seniors really appreciated. Also, Mayor and the council, the Deputy Chief Pearl was there along with Lieutenant Pearl and Officer Vanek. They spent some time talking about scams on the phones, and we hope to bring them in to do a thorough program to help seniors not fall to prey to scams on getting text and on the phone. Moving forward, the next event that the Scenery Advisory is going to hold is Wednesday, March 16th from 12 to 2. This is St. Patty's Day, corned beef and cabbage. So those interested in attending, flyers will be going out. You can reach out to Tyler or Janet Cohen to tell her or Tyler that you'll be attending. Moving on, can I have a motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Vanchery, second by Councilmember Seaver. All those in favor of opening the meeting for agenda items signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed that motion signify by saying nay. The motion carries. Ms. DePiero?
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. Please give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reaction button and then raise their hand icon. Please give your name and address for the record. Once the process is completed, we'll return to the regular order of business.
Thank you. The floor is now open. Are there any hands shown?
No hands.
Any members from the public in our audience like to speak? Seeing none, have a motion to close the public comment?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Seaver, second by Councilmember Sablowitz. All those in favor of closing the public comment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed to that motion signify by saying nay. Before we close out, let the record show that our engineer, Tom Lemanowicz, is in our presence, as well as our counselor.
Go West.
Joe Wentz.
Thank you. It's so good that Mayor, we never really have anything but a lawyer to
Just
do.
turn the name.
I'm sorry. You know, we really never have many lawsuits. I guess that's a good thing, right?
You can
All
sit
those-
next to him again.
All those in favor of adjourning this meeting? I have a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember
Second.
Kawhi, second by Councilmember Vanchery. All those in favor of adjourning this meeting on Valentine's Day, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed to that signify by saying nay. This meeting is now closed.
You had to earn his vote.